All right, we are back with the Terra Osmosis weekly report, and I have my friend here, Dr. Dosquin. How are you doing, sir?
Very, always good. You?
Good, good. I'm excited to share this with you and share this with anybody else that's interested in the Terra and Osmosis ecosystems.
Fantastic. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got on the report this week.
Yeah, man. So the goal here is to just curate some information that I thought was important throughout the week, and so I hope that people can gain some value out of this. There's a lot of other things that happened, and I'm not covering everything. This is just the cool stuff that stood out to me. All right. So with that being said, the first thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is Spectrum Protocol, and I was a huge fan of their DApp, and so when I saw this, I was like, all right, I'm excited that they're coming back. They're building, and they obviously learned like every other DApp has learned, good and bad things from their version one of Terra Classic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they uh, bring, to Terra, the new Terra. Any thoughts on this?
We come up quick. We're in July now. August, September is just around the corner, and so I think it's up 4 to 6 weeks by the end of September. That'll come up quick, and I'm excited about that. Spectrum, one of the OG protocols. It was them and Apollo DAO who ended up doing the automated yield farming, the compounding yield farming on both their protocols, and so Spectrum launching on Terra 2, the fact that they've stayed with Terra 2, I think that's really cool. And I hope that, I hope that they're able to gain some traction quickly. I think this is the beautiful thing is people already know them, people already use
Yeah.
them. And there's a very specific subsector of the lunatics community, or whatever they're called now, that has really gelled with Spectrum. So I guarantee that they're all going to go there. And of course, if the product continues to be excellent and deliver, then it's going to gain traction.
Yeah, man. The first time that I came across Spectrum was because I was doing the mirror delta neutral strategy, and I had MSLV, and then I put it on Spectrum instead of um, going long on mirror, and so then I
Hmm.
started to accumulate just the auto companion rewards and Spectrum by having my LP there instead of in mirror. So that's the first time I came across it, and the rewards were really nice too.
The rewards were good. I was on Spectrum when I found Spectrum when Valkyrie was really kicking off last year. Was it last year? I can't remember the dates now, but oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was around November last year
the Call
when Valkyrie
Five
was really
stuff.
kicking off. Yeah, um, and of course, yeah, there was some amazing APRs and APYs at that point, or APYs at that point in time. So looking forward to Spectrum 2.0.
Yes, sir. So moving on to the next one. This is in the Osmosis ecosystem. So it's called Bitsong Official, or the goal here is that creators like musicians are able to create fan tokens and use that as a way to reward their loyal fans. And the most interesting part for me is just that your fans can be introduced to DeFi in this way, right? If they want to support you, you can introduce them, onboard them, and show them what DeFi is about. They can buy your token, create an LP. There's rewards for that, and then this allows you to give back as well, right? In some way through Web3, either more rewards of the token or even NFTs as well, right? So I thought this was cool. I don't know if you've heard about them.
Never. This is the first time I've heard of it, and it sounds sick.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. So that's why I wanted to just see if I can, just bring a little bit more attention to it. I was trying to figure out how to share a little bit of the app
Yeah,
and
it'd be good to
see
see
how it
the app
looks.
because obviously on the graphics here you can see get the idea of it. Being on Osmosis and being it's a tokenized what seems to be a music streaming platform. Uh, it's very I'd imagine it's quite niche. Here we go.
Yeah,
Symphonia.
so you can swap, but these are the artists that are there right now. Not any
Hmm.
artists that I know of, but I'm sure if I looked into like what they were doing. They might have a good following. But it's interesting to even see like the market cap here. So the UI is pretty sick. that they have going on here.
Wait, so okay, I see what's going on. So you got the artists; they literally create their own token. So it's Karina has her own token, Clay has his own token.
Exactly. Yeah. And then yeah,
How,
you can create an LP with Osmo or their own token, right? BTSG.
I wonder if these are real. Are these real artists? Do you think?
I hope so. I mean, I like I said, I have not looked at what Adam or Clay here does, but the rewards are nice.
Okay, I had a conversation yesterday with my partner about a friend who she's a music artist, and she's part of a vanguard that is changing the way that music is purchased, and she's doing her own things. Alpha Mama is her name if you ever wanted to check her out. Phenomenal singer, a bit of a Beyonce sort of vibe. But the whole point is with something like Spotify, a streaming platform like Spotify, I don't know the exact number, but say it's like 0.0003 or 0.0007 cents per play that goes to the actual artists themselves. And so artists are actually going to be looking for future ways that they can monetize their music better. Spotify is great for exposure because it randomly promotes, it promotes music algorithmically based on someone's interests. But with something like this, there could be the potential for, I guess, more revenue generation for the artist, which is exciting because artists are typically, there's that stereotype of the struggling artist, and so I'd love to see the artist get up. Being a musician myself, let's see what happens with Symphonia. Let's see if that gets some traction.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think we're still exploring different, ways to use DeFi and to onboard creators, what Symphonia is doing. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out, and the fact that they're using Osmosis too, I think is dope. So moving on here, so Prism, they released more information in regard to their relaunch. And so just the one thing that I wanted to point out was that the first thing that they're going to be creating is the auto-companding LSD, right? Similarly to Luna X and Stater. But yeah, I mean, I think we're familiar with Prism. I mean, initially I was very interested in the refracting, but it looks like that's going to be coming on later. It's not going to be the first thing that they release.
Yes. I was having a read through the Medium article of this the other night. So this one I have actually had a little look at, and the liquid staking derivatives is not even specific to just Terra 2. I think what looked exciting about it is this is going to be cross chain.
Yeah.
And it may even imply there's who knows, there's whispers, but it may imply that they've got their own L1 being spun up. I don't know the actual answer. I just know that there's a a Prism hub that's going to be a thing in future. In the next, did they have a time? Next couple of months, maybe.
Right, you cut off a little bit there. Are you asking about the timing of when they're going to launch?
Yeah.
I don't remember reading that specific timing either, but I think because of their emergency allocation, they have to do this within 3 months of when they first received it.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, another big name. If we're looking at the names that have come across from Terra 1 and Terra 2, obviously Prism, Astroport, State is another original name. You've got Spectrum. So it is good to see, again, some of the more well-known names from Terra 1 coming through. We'll see, we'll see what the uptake is like over the coming months, but we're in a bear market, Edwin. The interest in crypto has been waning, and people are getting a little bit bored, and people have short attention spans and are looking for other things to amuse themselves with. But I think what's going to happen is these people that, like Prism, who are, great builders, they've got great products, they're going to continue building, continue doing what they do best. And by the time the next bull run kicks in, whenever that may be, if that ever comes our way, it will, but patience is key, then they'll be well positioned, they'll be well primed. I think Terra 2, it's got its short-term obstacles, there's no secret, but I think there's big potential for Prism in the future.
Yeah, completely agree, man. And speaking of bear market, we need to have a little bit of fun, right? And so, Wasmos NFTs, if you're not familiar with that, they're essentially creating a base layer avatar that anybody can get for free, right? And then you can get accessories through your on-chain activities. And so they released information. They had a Twitter space earlier last week, and it sounds super exciting, man, because they are bringing a new way to think about NFTs. I think we're getting past just the PFPs, and then there's a lot of talk about the gamification and how to just amplify the the gaming world and how to include blockchain in that, right? And so I think they're trying to do that here. They're trying to create stickiness around osmosis, around these NFTs, and the more actions you take, the governance that you participate in, the LPs that you create, staking, all of that stuff, um, you are going to be able to get accessories through that, and then now you can show off your accessories. That's the tradable asset, right? And then yeah, I'm super excited about this.
To my attention here, Edwin, Wasmos composable. I'm just reading it here. The idea behind composable NFTs is to give people the ability to represent their personality and brand, and build up their reputation by a gamified experience on chain. So does this mean that the people building the NFTs or composing the NFTs are able to choose their own method of gamification, or is it something that's predetermined, or do you know the details there?
So initially there is like whitelisted accessories that the Osmosis team creates, right? So if you go onto Osmosis and you participate in governance, there's a whitelist accessory that comes with that action, right? So you have that and you can attach. Let's say for governance, you get a jacket that says "I voted," right? And so now you can add that to your avatar and you can rock it, you can wear it, right?
Oh,
But if you didn't participate, then you didn't have that. You don't get that accessory. So now, since I own it, I can trade. I can put it on the marketplace and try to sell it to you because you really wanted it or something, right?
okay.
So that's how it's starting. But eventually, they're going to it be a bit more permissionless in the sense that they'll let orbital command create a accessory like a jacket that says orbital command if you stake 10 luna uh, to the osmosis validator that we have there. And there's still going to be some control on their end just to make sure that everything is legit, right?
Sure.
And there's nothing offensive being created, things like that. But
Yeah.
that's the way it is. That kind of like the question that you had?
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
That
okay,
actually, that was a really good explanation. Thank you.
okay, cool. But yeah, I think it's dope, man. Again, it adds the gamification and fun component to NFTs, and also just to learn. And I think that's one of the things that they're going to focus on initially: teach people, educate people on how to do things, governance, how to vote, how to stake, how to do the superfluid staking, and then be able to reward them for that.
Yes, which are all important things to do. And so I think, I guess the last point that I'll add here before we move to Valkyrie is that Osmos is just, it's another thing on Osmosis. And so Osmosis was primarily a DEX first and foremost, and now it's building out its ecosystem. And so I'm just really curious to see uh, what's built on Osmosis. And I'm curious to, just see, particularly the NFT space. I'm curious to see how the NFT space grows there. So time will tell.
Yeah, and it's cool too to see that it's their NFTs are coming from like the core team from the the that app essentially. Like imagine TFL had their own NFT project. That's like they don't they I honestly feel like they don't support NFTs that much, and that's why a lot of them are leaving to Polygon. But that's another story. So let's move on to Valkyrie over here. I actually engaged with Valkyrie when they first launched on Terra Classic, and so I had a bunch of Valkyrie
Yeah.
staked, and so they're live on Terra now. And if you were engaging with them in Terra Classic, you can go on Terra 2 and you can claim your coins tokens as well.
Do I still have VKR? I'm now got my brain ticking. I was like, did I get rid of the VKR before the collapse? I'll have to double check. I did have a tidy stash of it at one point, but that's good to know. So today is Valkyrie's new birthday, so it's arrived. It's done.
It's live. Yep, I claimed
It's a lot
earlier
going to be.
today.
Do you know anything about the initial campaign?
I do not. No, I didn't look at the campaigns.
Okay. Well, I guess if you're interested in learning more about the upcoming campaigns on Valkyrie Protocol, you can jump on there. Essentially, I'd imagine it's still the same function, share to earn.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. At least the branding here looks quite good. I'm looking through, and the animations doing a bit of justice. Valkyrie shipping. Good on ya.
That's right. All right, and so just moving on to a bit of the quick threads tools that I found that were pretty cool. We got our boy Rebel DeFi here, just making sure that you get your SHD airdrop from Shade Protocol. So he's been deep diving into Secret, and so uh, yeah, if anybody's got questions about Secret or Shade or Stash, any of the dApps building on there, Rebel's going to be your go-to guy. So he put a video together here to show you guys to do a walkthrough.
He's a good man. And so I haven't seen that video yet, but do you know who's eligible for the Shade airdrop?
So apparently this is something that was available, that has been available for months, right? Even before the Terra crash. And my understanding is that you had to be like a Luna staker. And so they wanted to obviously reward Luna stakers to introduce them to their protocol. And yeah, if you dive deeper into Shape Protocol, they're also creating their own algorithmic stablecoin, and they've learned a lot from UST's problems. So Rebel, like I said, he's been doing a deep dive into everything that's going on there, and he really likes what they're doing, and that's the reason he's spending time doing this to make sure that everybody, paying attention to Rebel can make sure they're getting their airdrops, free tokens, and I'm sure he'll have more information on the algorithmic stablecoin in the future as well.
Yeah, he's always got fantastic content, and you and I both know he's been deep diving into Secret at the moment. I'll be curious to see. So you just said something that piqued my interest, which was about the decentralized algorithmic stablecoin. I'll be very curious to see what their approach is. I know that there's going to be a lot of trepidation from people about getting involved in decentralized algorithmic stablecoins in future, just based on the events of May this year. And so I might have to do some research myself into their mechanisms, because that's a big problem to solve. And if they do solve it, power to them.
Yeah, and ultimately, I still hope that there's some kind of algorithmic stablecoin in the future, and it's going to take a lot of work and research and experimenting. It's a given. But I would love to see that eventually. So moving forward here, so Farmer to Hal, shout out for his work, his research. He's also part of our Discord community, and he's always providing some really good feedback. Also, Say Network ambassador. So if you guys haven't followed him, check him out. So he did a quick TLDR on Osmosis, and what it does. What I just wanted to point out. He also looked at the future, making it rain money. But some of the things that he pointed out that I thought were cool. This is the one that really interested me: the interfluid staking, right? Where right now you can do superfluid staking, where you can pair Osmosis with Atom, let's say, and you can stake your Osmosis side. But your interfluid staking is going to allow you to also stake your Atom side. So that sounds exciting for me.
Dude, this ecosystem, the fact I love that we're now part of this, as in when I say we, I mean Orbital Command, but it's so vast. It's so vast. There's so much that is happening, and when I think back to the proliferation of dApps on Terra Classic, Terra 1, it was almost hard to keep up with everything then. Now, with all of this, I'm just like, man, where do we even start here? obviously we had a big conversation about time and the scarcity of it.
Yeah.
It feels like at the moment. And so this, again, deep dive, farmer, how do you say it? Farmer to how?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how
Good,
I've been saying it.
good contribution there from Farmer to how. Thank you, sir. In the Discord, obviously, and if you're not in the Discord, OC Orbital Command have a Discord where we have lots of educational resources in there too. So definitely worth checking that out. The link is in the link tree at the top of the Twitter space, at the top of
Yes,
the
sir.
Twitter page.
Yes, sir. So moving on here, Terrascope, which is the uh, blockchain explorer, right? So a lot of people prefer using this one over the regular Finder that we have in Terra. So this one is back, it's live. So if you are somebody that likes to look at the blockchain transactions and the research, it's live. So definitely take advantage of that. I don't know
We're
if you
going to
use
just,
that one.
I have used it, yeah. It's a quick addendum on that is I put out a post yesterday or the day before just saying essentially finding the interest that might be there to learn more about whale watching. So being able to super sleuth on the blockchain and really
Hmm.
uh, understand who, what wallets are doing what and how to track them well. And so what we'll probably organize is a call on the Discord most likely, and that'll be with Terra Watcher, who is the super sleuth at Orbital Command. So if that is something that you want to learn more about, there will be some information coming soon on how you can be part of that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to do that workshop because I think this is the difference between a regular CFI and DeFi, right? Where like everything's public on the chain, so we can learn from all these whales and the moves that they're making. So
100%. Yeah.
all right, and then the last thing here, I just wanted to highlight the Osmosis Ministry of Marketing. They're doing their own curation. So, to back up a little bit, talking about all of these different things going on, not just in Terra or Osmosis, but in Cosmos and in Ethereum and everywhere, right? So I think curation is big on Twitter, like threaders going deep into a specific protocol is awesome. But I think that a curation of the threaders is also going to be helpful. And that's kind of my goal here with this report as well. And so the ministry minutes from the Ministry of Marketing here, that's their goal as well, just to put a little bit of a curation as to what is going on in osmosis. uh, so yeah, so just wanted to point this out that they do this thread as well.
It's very meta. It's you've done a curated tweet thread and included a tweet from someone who also does curated tweet threads. Um, but I'll definitely be following these guys myself too, because as I said, I want to keep across everything that's happening on Osmosis. So Osmosis Ministry of Marketing
Yeah,
at Osmo Ministry of Market on Twitter. Definitely give them a follow. They look like they're doing some good stuff. And it's actually what I do like there is there's some stuff on the governance proposals I could see at a glance.
yeah,
So they're keeping people across, the important decisions that are being made behind the scenes.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, I feel like I'm connecting how there's DeFi Legos, I'm doing the curation Legos here.
Yes, yeah, and it's an important. I think it's a very valuable tool. And so the fact that you put this out and now we get to have a little riff on it, and essentially you just get to explain to me as if I'm a 5-year old what these things mean. It makes it very helpful for myself and then anyone else who may not be across this information. So I appreciate that. And there's tons more stuff that is coming out. We've got actually I just launched a TikTok account for OC today, so we're going to be getting together some PDF files and some free resources for people that will be linked back to via the TikTok, and some short promo educational videos too. So we really are trying to have a touch point across all mediums, all platforms, so that people can get the best education possible to understand this space, because it is still the Wild West. We're 13 years in and it's still the Wild West. It's still, it's a very unpredictable space. It's a very exciting space, but with the right tools and with the right practices under your belt, you can navigate it a little bit better. So this validator. We just want to expand and educate the communities that are involved with the chains that we tend to gravitate towards and love ourselves. So Terra, Osmosis, which we validate on. What do we started on?
You
Most.
you cut off there a bit. Sorry. What did
I
you
was
say?
just saying that obviously we're also recently on Evmos, which a lot of people wouldn't know yet. We haven't really made that super public, but we are, and we've got some more coming up that will, will release to the
Yeah.
public soon. So, this is what we.
All right. Yeah, you cut off there a little bit again, man. I think
I don't know what's going on with my internet today, man.
yeah.
I thought it was yours earlier. I was like, man, everyone's internet's shoddy as. It's mine.
But I heard most of it. Yes, we are still focusing on education, and we're focusing on growing where we are validating, and so we'll release more information on uh, where we explore next. But yeah, FMOS and Say is another one that we're working on. So yeah, we'll share more information and bring education. The stuff we're doing here for Terra and Osmosis, we want to do that for other blockchains as well.
And in the meantime, Edwin's just going to keep growing his beard out.
That's right. Yeah, man. I'm gonna
It's
let my
getting
hair
some
grow.
length. It's
We'll
getting some
see.
length there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something with my hair up here. I have to pick a side, left or right. Don't know yet. The hair has to
I
decide
thought you
where it
meant you had to
wants to
pick a
go.
side. Do you grow the hair or do you grow the beard?
Oh.
But I get what you're saying.
No, I'm gonna grow both, just to see what happens. I haven't done
You're
this
wild,
in
man.
many years.
Hey, it's a man's prerogative. If you can grow a beard, you've got to at least give it a shot. Give it a shot at least once.
Exactly. Yeah, I have friends my age that are still like, man, I can't connect the beard yet, or they grow some patches. So I gotta take advantage of what I got here.
One day it just clicks. Just before we wrap up the call, I was a hairless little seal. I was like an eel when I was a kid, and then 21, patchy beard, very patchy, gross. Something happened around 29, and it just went and connected, and I was like, oh, here we are. I'm a bearded man now, and it has been the case for probably 5 years. I'm scared to see what's under there, but
Yeah, right.
maybe at 100,000 subs, we'll do a face reveal.
There you go. There you go. Okay. We got that. We're about 99,000 subscribers, but we'll get there. We'll get there. That's the goal here.
Awesome. Well, Edwin, as per usual, it's always a pleasure chatting with you, mate. I really enjoyed the time that we spend, and I really enjoy working with you. You're a phenomenal human.
Thank you, sir. No, I appreciate that, and you as well, man. I'm happy to continue to push forward here and just provide value to the community. So let's keep on doing it.
Awesome, brother. Go be awesome.
Take care, everyone.